This has been one hell of an experience. Have a look at that. Changing the car. Made a little seat into the little bush. You can see inside. Yeah, guys, let's go visit. Picking up his pictures, random dude just come up. Yeah, we're getting the ticket to go back to Tokyo for the night in the hotel. We'll be editing all this together. Possible. Do you try turning the chills on? We do that last Monday.
I'm with a cold sweat.
Hot sweat, mate.
You said this were going home with you.
600 quid, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm up. Hey, up. Did you hear that?
No.
You said 600. We're having that as a first time thing.
20 seconds.
Right, if I bid again, are you going to bid any more?
He's got that poker face on his over there. 10, 9.
Well done, mate.
Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then, do you not care? If you get a swipe, do you not? Does it not start to build up down?
I had to do it.
To be everything I've ever built on a slope, mate. I forgot everything.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Good evening, Dave DT Coy, who's suffering with man flu, and as everybody knows, man flu is a typical worst case of flu that you can normally ever have, and there's only men know what it's truly like. Don't know where the rest of them are, guys. So you just got me tonight. Oh, maybe Rick as well. And Rick.
Right,
Oh, Matt's going to be on the final disciplinary.
Have you done the intro yet?
Yeah, it's done, mate. We're on. We're live. We're going. This is it. We're in. Way! How you doing, bud? You had a good week?
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
You've been pulling out some nice fish, mate.
Trying to.
Especially, I mean, the Karashi guys that I saw, there was every single variety that you could possibly think of there. Deutz, Wagoi,
Yeah, there's the
Aragoke, Ginrin,
metallic.
They look good and all, mate, to be fair. They do look good. And those all the new stock that's all going in for sales now then, and all the into
Yeah, they'll
shop
be in
ready
prepared.
job.
As long as everything settles down, they'll be available from that weekend, next weekend.
Happy days. Evening, Andy J. Hope you're well. We'll just touch base with a few people that's in. Paul, good evening, mate. Hi, Gaza Rick. We should have, oh, there we go. George, evening, bud. Hope you're well. We should have Matt joining us because he hasn't said he isn't going to be, so fingers crossed. First thing I need to do, ladies and gents, is apologise. I've ballsed up. Evening, Dave. We are doing, evening, Marco. We're doing the Shisui this evening. And it wasn't till it was yesterday evening, and I was sent in one by Lee, not Lee Hadfield. And I suddenly realised that we've definitely already done the Shisui, because that's the Shisui that I sold him that he bought live on here. So like, oh crap, we've already done it. And it wasn't till I saw it. But I mean, people have gone to the trouble to show them, so we were to get them out and ball them up and show them. But I'm going to be asking everybody's opinion, obviously, of the panel and of anybody else in the members of the public, all those that do enter the fish. When do you want to cap it on head? When do you want to turn around and say, right, perhaps, you know, for anybody that's got a cold pond or an unheated pond, it might be as well to start thinking about bringing this to an evening. I'm thinking, I said evening then because I just saw Simon Shear's message just come up, and Jason Perry's just above it. Good evening, mate. Good evening, Simon, as well. Thanks for joining us. So, depending on what you think, if everybody wants to do another one, let me know in comments. End of the month, because it is starting to get to that kind of that time of year, in it, where it's the colder the temperatures, the more chance you've got of doing some damage, or, you know, splitting a pec, damaging a tail or a dorsal or whatever. And then that's a long period throughout the winter where people's fish are, you know, going to be in a stage of damage. Rather than having any of that, we might bring it to an end at the end of the month. There's a sensible suggestion there from Rick. Now then, Mr. Matt, how are you doing?
Mr. Matt. Mr. Matt's in trouble, obviously.
I felt I was going to be in trouble then, Mr. Matt.
Mr. Matt. No. Final written disciplinary. Could be. You have to see what he says when he gets in. Be obviously a good combat coach, you know, the routine.
You know, by catching up the fish, or you mentioned by catching up the fish, it's a freaking lot easier catching them now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is easier catching them now. When the waters are cooler, they're a lot less. Like when midsummer, when it's red hot, everything's 1,000 miles an hour out there. They're all over shot. It's certainly easier to net up any fish at this time of year now. But
it's funny. It's funny as well, when you catch one fish and he jumps out the bowl or jumps out the net, you can guarantee you put him back in the bowl and he's remembered and he's straight back up over the top again and out he goes.
You can tell when they're going to do it, can't you? Because they come up to edge, can't you? They start looking at it and then thinking, oh, fuck it, I'm off. And then you're going to jump straight back out again. But yeah, just in case, guys, ladies and gents, then we will go to perhaps making this maybe the last couple of this season, so to speak. So what you guys been up to this week then? Oh no. Oh good. Oh new.
Nothing. Got to say big thank you. Oh, not thank you. Congratulations. Ty Up North winning junior koi show, mate.
Yeah, mate, that was a nice fish and all that, wasn't it? That was a very nice fish. Where did you get that from?
I don't know.
Did it say
Quinny
Koi? Oh, I remember the video of him purchasing that. I think that was a very nice fish, man. It looked really good, didn't it? Credit where credit's due, because that was a banger. About you, Matt?
I've been chasing the February types all week.
Have you?
Not chasing the birds again, mate.
I have. Just
it doesn't stop, does he?
It's been a bad week this week. And done bits and pieces in between, but yeah. Multitasking, long hours.
See, men can do it. Matt Howie Coy Dorset is living proof.
Living the dream.
Well, our Tony's pinging PC, so he's sending in photos.
Again,
Hey, I'll tell
another
you what.
massive congratulations to Tony. Best Deutsch
Yeah,
at the show.
no, that was another good result as well, wasn't it? Done really well.
So,
It's good to see new people that have got into the show scene and into showing the fish coming out with some good results and actually getting some, positions and places, rosettes and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Tony Farmo Coy, well done, mate. Congratulations, bud. That was a very good result for yourself as well.
yeah, I'll be happy.
Topics, ladies and gents. We have 0 topics.
0
And we have maybe a push, depending on how many Tony sends in, 10 fish to look at, thereabouts. So it could be a quick short one this week, guys.
We're going to bed, but yeah. Don't know. So yeah, obviously we finished our food trial as a topic.
Yeah, I was just going
We kicked off another load of arguments and God knows what. So, yes. Yeah, that's been quite an interesting couple of days sorting them out.
For all those that don't know, would you want to say which you was most impressed by?
Yeah, I mean, so basically all the ponds, we've had some strange comments on the videos about, oh, you could have put more females in a pond so they would have grown more, but it's like there was 400 fish split between the ponds, all varieties. Yeah, it's so yeah, there should have been 400.
At that age, though. At that age of toe size, going into that size, it's very difficult to sex a fish at that size, at that age.
Yeah, it was just a random split, so that there might be different varieties, and there was supposed to be 100 fish, 104 fish per pond. Dave counted them, and there's a few extras. Most of them.
Well, that's not anything unnormal, though, is it, Rick? I mean, every time you do tend to add the odd one or two, don't you? When you're counting.
Generally, yeah. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, that is kind of irrelevant. They were weighed into the pond.
Yeah, so you went with a weight.
Yeah, so there's 7.5 kilos of fish between 104 and 110 fish per pond. It ended up being so. But yeah, the results, I didn't think they'd grown as much as they had. So yeah, we also used the Dajiwa, the Chinese food, Nutrimar, Coppens, Spirulina food, and the Dainichi FD food. Yeah, and well, there's plenty of videos. Vince has done some videos. Upshot of it, they all did pretty damn well. You know, they grew across the 4 ponds. They grew 40 meters of koi.
Well, so that's a fair
So
old
that's
bit
quite a lot in 10 weeks. Yeah, they got on 140 kilos weight gain and grew 40 meters across the ponds. So the Dainichi food was the best. It was the best growth, pigmentation across the board, body, the whole lot, except for maybe skin quality was perhaps not quite as good on that one. But the fish had obviously done better on it. So yeah, I wouldn't hold that against it. But yeah, so it's just the cost of the food, isn't it?
Yeah,
that pond at £500 worth more food in 10 weeks,
which is a lot. I mean, that's not for a business. It's not feasible, is it?
Yeah, but you say that, Nick. You say that because I was listening when I was driving back tonight. You said about £500. You had 104 fish in there. So in effect,
it works out £7.60 a fish. For each koi, more in there or whatever, or £7.20 more than the other diet. So from the point of view, if they look that much better and you sell them for 50 quid each,
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if you can increase the price with it, then yes, I'd agree with that. But if you were thinking about feeding that throughout across the whole farm, that would
it's not even a consideration on that sort of thing. But yeah, your top percentage, it could be same as sake akari, same as the colour food there.
So Rick, do you not think then that one of your fish, let's just say to make it easy, one of the fish was valued at £50, do you not think that the Danichi food, you could have got £60 for that fish?
And pulled your
Yeah,
money
well,
back.
some of them 100% are worth more money because of it, but some of them ain't, and that's obviously down to the selection of the fish. Obviously, when we did it, it was just splitting as across the board to make the trial fair. But if you were doing it commercially, you just would pick those very best fish to make them that little bit better. Tiny margins on dearer fish command quite a lot of money, don't they? So,
And there was one bit where you'd said that they were that on the Nutrimare they consumed way less than any of the others.
they did, yeah. I mean, that's
So
the biggest problem with it.
so
They didn't want to eat it.
to be honest and to be fair to him, as stipulated, you don't have to feed as much to gain the same results.
Yeah, you got a flip. There's a bit of a flip side to it as well. So yes, they did convert. They converted the food phenomenally well. They did do really well on it. But if for whatever reason they don't want to eat as much of the diet, so that pond was right next door to the Dainichi pond, so they were being fed, and obviously their appetite, they wanted it, but then they didn't want to take more, maybe 1% difference or whatever it was, but that over a period of time escalates. So just in 10 weeks, we used 6 kilos more of the Dainichi food. If you did it over a full year, you'd be looking at 25 kilos more. If you did it over 2 years, you're looking at probably 100 kilos more, because it doesn't, as the fish get bigger, it escalates. So
Yeah.
but the two ways of looking at it, obviously, for growing purposes, you want that appetite, and I think that's what Lee was a bit scared of when he went to when he tried it. The fish didn't want to eat as much as he was used to feeding with the sake akari, and he's like, oh shit, they might not perform on it, and it's a risk he couldn't take before a show to get them where he wanted it. Yeah, it was an item. What they did with what they ate is amazing. It'd be nice if they wanted to eat more, but it is quite a different diet to the others. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's to do with
So what?
Very strong smell. It might be something that puts them off. Yourself, any animal or human will eat. So for food, if they like the taste of it more, they'll eat too much or more.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Like something rich, like a chocolate cheesecake. You have one slice of it, and
Go back for 3 slices of that, would you? Every time. Oh,
yeah, you fill up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there was an eye opener of a difference, but to have food conversion rates of 0.86 and 0.87 for those two diets is for not. It's just when you think you're feeding 860 grams of food and gaining a kilo muscle mass. There's no fat on these fish. You can see from the videos they are really nicely built across the board. But to gain a kilo for eating 860 grams is phenomenal, because obviously they're still taking on water to go with the food. But that's in the realms of, I wasn't expecting anything like that. I was looking at more like 2 kilos fed to 1 kilo weight gain. So
what about combining it with something, like the FD one or sake akari, so you get that push for them wanting a bit more because they've got whatever secret ingredients it is, but combining it with the Nutrimare so that you're not having to lay out as much of a expense.
There'll be all sorts of ways of making it work, and obviously the flip side of it is obviously it's a lot cheaper than those foods.
Yeah, hell of a lot.
And you can, if you're using less of it but still getting a good result, then it's even cheaper again, isn't it? Because you're using X amount less. But it's just the amount they want to consume of it. I don't know. But
yeah,
like
let's call it.
Lajiwa food was, I don't understand why it makes.
I don't understand why it makes a difference if they don't want to eat as much. If they're eating less but still gaining weight, why
because
is it important?
They're not gaining. That's the difference, Colin. So they're at 32 kilos and come out end weight at say 44 kilos, but they hadn't grown as much as the Dainichi food. They wanted to eat more, so they grew more, and they want to eat more, so they grew more. So if you're trying to get a fish to 80 centimeters it's going to be a lot easier to do it with a food where they want to consume more. They'll grow faster. So they grew really well on the Nutrimare, but only up to that point, centimetre a week or whatever. I couldn't get them to go beyond that. Whereas Saki Akari and the Dainichi food, they'd take more and grow faster than that.
Dainichi,
So it's, for most people, it's probably not even a concern, is it? For most of us.
Not for your average, not for somebody like you doing what you're doing, yeah, or for somebody that's really gets that buzz out of growing fish big, quick, and all the rest of it, or wanting to bulk a fish up for a show. Yes, but for the everyday person that's just keeping a koi in the garden pond type of thing, I mean, it seems like a.
To be fair, let's say all the diets performed well, but yeah, it's just justifying. They're all of a similar price, apart from the Dainichi food, which is similar to Sakai Akari colour food. They're that top end. But if you're spending thousands on fish, or you're trying to get the best out of a number of small, very high grade fish, then the dearer food is probably the better way to go. Why spend $2,000 on a toe side to potentially not get the potential out of it by scrimping on the food?
Yeah.
But if you're trying to grow like we are, 100 fish, then yeah, the Nutrimare's probably got a place, isn't it? Definitely. I can't.
Do you think you might be making any changes with any products or introducing any new products for those type of?
Well, we don't sell it. So at the end of the day, it's not like I'm advertising. We don't sell the stuff. It's not, the only food we sell is the coppins.
Yeah. No. In the sense of, if you'd got, forget about the trial side of things, because I know you said you're going to do another one. But if you want, you've got a couple of polytunnels and you think, I really want to get some good size on these, and we're impressed with this product, would you be making a change from coppins, which has been your basic staple, to perhaps maybe introducing a newer brand?
Well, to be fair, we always have on those like the Munger tunnel or whatever. I'm always changing the foods, so that's always been done. But yeah, it's getting the right diet, and I probably would use. I'd use all the foods, to be fair. Obviously, if the money wasn't an option, then I'd use Dainichi or the Saki Akari. But for the cheaper foods, both the Dajiwa, the skin quality on those fish was amazing. That they were really polished and shiny, whereas the other diets weren't quite. But again, a lot of that could be down to the growth as well. So the more they grow, the less skin looks. So it's
that's what the koi perspectives popped in there. The Chinese food has better skin. My thoughts is because they grow slower and the skin is less stretched. Chibi Nisai always look better than regular Nisai straight after a growing season.
Yeah, but it's still. They still grew 8 centimeters in 10 weeks and put on 35 kilos or whatever. So it's not like they weren't growing, but yeah, they weren't growing as fast. But they do a growth food. So again, you can balance that up and probably have a more.
Dave Gardner says that it's hard to justify 1 cm for so much more money. You to push in the right conditions, you can put 2.5 cm.
Yeah, you can. That's
a week.
We were growing a lot of fish and a lot of varieties that weren't going to grow super fast. You could do it with a bunch of our normal scale wagoi, crashigoi that are just going to grow like weeds. But then, what do you really learn from that? You're
not going to do, are you really at all? You'd be expecting that regardless, because they grow like stink normally anyway.
The problem with the food is there's so many variances, even in the same brand. Isn't it? It's like the coppins. You're using the spirulina, the grove, and staple.
This is that they were purely on the spirit. The spirulina is the only one I use for our pet stuff or whatever when we're growing them in a situation like that.
I was saying, I wonder what difference there would have been if you used, say, the coppins grove on the size.
They probably would have grown more, but the waste production from it was a lot higher, and I couldn't have done it in the same way in there. It would have gone a bit, because they've had they've had zero water. They have literally had no water changes in 10 weeks. They have run on that same water in those systems done. That's it. You know, there's no. Yeah, it's not been. They've not been grown. If I was trying to grow those fish flat out, I'd obviously separated them on size, and been on top of cleaning filters, water changing, and all the rest of it, and thinning the fish down as they grew, and you'd have had an even better growth rate on those end product fish. But again, that wasn't the plan. It was just, there you go. There's a 10-week period. Let's see what you'll do. And yeah, and we've seen the difference in the sumi on the Shiros as well. And that's something that obviously people say you can't change sumi with foods, but you can. You definitely can. So that's another side to it. It's a lot more difficult to be conclusive about what it is and how you do it, but there is definitely a difference.
That one's it shows everyone what you can get and the difference, so people can make a choice to suit their situation and pocket. Yeah, definitely, Andrew.
Yeah, so I've literally broken it down to how much money's worth of food that pond at, how much it costs per fish to get to that size, how much it costs per centimetre to grow that size, how much it costs to get a kilo on the fish or whatever. It's there in, it can't be any more. The information's there. You take from it what you will. You know, some people want the prettiest fish. Some people, you know, so they're going to the Chinese food might be the way to go. If you want fish that are just sort of sparkling and looking as bright and shiny as you can. Whereas if you want fish to be growing and you haven't got the money, then the Nutrimed is probably a great option. If you've got deep pockets and good fish, then just go for the best you can.
Dave touched on a little bit there, which kind of covers a little bit what you're saying there. Would you agree that at the end of the day, if the fish haven't got the genetics, no matter what food you feed, not going to happen anyway?
Yeah, I mean, you can't, certainly once you start going towards the bigger sizes, and yeah, there is a massive difference. And obviously we've seen that, obviously harvesting, the Shiros were behind when they went in, and they were a long way behind coming out, but you'd expect that they're competing up against all sorts in there. Genetics play a massive part, but environment, I think, plays a bigger role, certainly in the earlier years. You know, you can grow a fish that's not got great genetics to 60 centimetres as a 2-year-old, probably quite easily, but that fish will then never grow beyond 65 centimetres, whatever you do with it.
Yeah, so it's going to be top out, and then it's only going to be putting on minimal amount for the next 5-6 years of its life.
The genetics really play a part if you want to get fish to 70, 80, 90 cm. That's when you're individual fish. It's not just from the genetics of the parents. Also, that fish has got to carry the right bone structure and attributes to do it. Just because a fish has got big parents does not mean all the offspring are going to grow big.
No, well, I mean that's yeah. You can see human beings that are, you know, might be 6'2" dad and, you know, a 5'11" mother, and then have a kid that only gets to, you know, 5'2". It doesn't necessarily mean just because you stick two big people or two big genetic fish together that everything will become that same size, does it?
No, you stack the odds in your favour, and if you pick the right fish, you pretty much guarantee they will. But yeah, but they won't. Again, if you could pick the best boy in the world at a year old that could grow to a metre and put it in a shit pond, and it will never grow beyond 50 centimetres.
Never grow at all.
So,
well,
there's no point. Why would you go and buy a fish from Sakai Fish Farm from their best parent set that's got all the potential in the world and stick it in an unheated pond and ruin it in 2 or 3 years in terms of its potential?
Yeah,
it doesn't sort of tally up, does it?
Well, it don't. You're right, mate. At the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't go out there and buy a 4 or 5 grand fish and put it in my pond. It's just pointless. But I would spend a little bit more than what I would normally do, getting a nice.
What you need is a window, guys. Put window, and then you can go buy one.
Jonathan says that means the milkman was around, Gaz. Crafty says I just got wide.
But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Yeah, the trial was never to get maximum growth. It was never to do. It was just to see the outcomes of those diets in that window on all those different varieties. Yeah, there's been points. I mean, I didn't expect the Shishui and Asagi to look so good on the Dainichi food. They've come out looking
Brilliant.
better than ours ever looked before. It's like shit. So they've obviously always had the genetic potential, but given that food in that environment, they've just stepped up to another level. That's
Dave Thompson's asked, what was the best food for Sumi development?
There you go. Yes, to be fair, the Chinese food was pretty damn good. All the colours on all those fish, but again, it's not just. It's that sort of almost finishing. The Shiros come out of that pond looking much more finished than they did out the other ponds. Take what you will. It might just be a mineral in there or an element in there that just brings it out, because the water was all the same. Everything else was identical. So yeah, if you've got 15 Shiros coming out of one pond looking all bright, shiny, and fairly finished, and then the next pond they're all coming out, Sumi's underlying and not up and popping at all. There's a difference, isn't there?
What pond had the most waste on it, Rick?
I've not. That's
yet to be determined.
I always love it, Rick, when you don't want to answer the question.
I can't get, because I have to drain them down, the settlement chambers and all the strapping and stuff. I've got to refill them to clean them and see what's in there. They're all quite bad. They've had 10 weeks worth of shit in there, but none of them smelt bad. So there was probably not as bad as you'd expect. Not for having 10 weeks, that amount of fish gone through them, that amount of food with like basically zero maintenance. They're just being fed. That's it.
Literally just chucking it at them and seeing what they did.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's not a normal koi pond where you've got a drum taking waste out constantly and all the rest of it. So all those factors would have increased the yield of fish, if that's possible. I mean, it was a bloody lot of fish coming out. But
was there any of the 5 brands that you used that caused any problems?
No. The only issue was obviously getting the filters up to speed. So the nitrite I had to keep an eye on. That was always, and all the time I was increasing the food, so that was always there, but within safety sort of realms. And also I had to buffer the ponds because the pH started to go in them about halfway through. So obviously sodium bicarb and dolomite, the crap out of them to stabilize them. But yeah,
but that could happen in any pond, couldn't it? If you push it.
Well, yeah, you can't run the same water for that long without
without
a bit of help
manipulating it. Yeah,
but yeah, no. Let's say that the biggest problem was I wanted to feed them more and more and more, but the Nutrimare pond were the ones that were just like, well, we've had enough. You put 2 scoops in, and they just would like, we've had enough now. We're not eating anymore. Whereas the other ponds were still looking for food thereafter. So when I spoke to Dan, I'm like, mate, I'm a bit worried that they're not going to do as well. They're not eating as much. Therefore, they're not going to be as big or grow as well or do as well. And he's like, oh, no, they'll be all right. They should be all right as long as they're... And yeah, to be fair, they were. But still
I know Goshki in the food trial.
I didn't have any in that year in there. They were only the fish that were there. It'd been nice to have a few more Gosanki in the mix, to be fair, because we'd have seen more. You get more failures with those.
Yeah.
Which obviously would have been nice to see. Not nice to see, but if one of the diets didn't do so well, you'd have more failures against one of the others. But the number of fish, there was one in the Dainichi pond that had got into the filter. He was looking a bit ropey, but it had been in the shit settlement filter for God knows how long.
Badly grown.
It was pretty big, yeah. But yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of live food in those chambers. Also, a lot of snails, a lot of gammarus, all sorts in there. So it was getting enough food, but
It was happy as a coin shit then, pretty much.
yeah, it was living in shit, and yeah, but yeah. I mean, if we do it again, we might well do it again. We'll change. We'll do different diets and maybe select the fish a bit more. It wasn't when we originally started this. It wasn't the plan to do it. It was just suddenly I had the ponds and 400 fish, and it's like, well, I could just split these up and do a food trial, and then it sort of escalated. Whereas if we were going to plan it properly, we could turn around and say, actually, let's do it all one variety, or do it, you know, selectively 20 of these, 20 of these, 20 of them, 20 of them. So everything's, yeah, a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still about, yeah, I know what you're meaning, but I mean, that would have made it more fairer to be able to turn around and say, but do you think you had certain varieties that did better out of each category of food than what you've had in past? As in, you know, let's say, for example, the Dainichi stuff, was the varieties that did better in there than what you expected? You've already said the Shisuis look better than what you've ever had or in one type. But did you have that across the board with a few of the varieties where you thought, oh shit, look at that. That's an improvement.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like I say, the Shiros in the Dajiwa pond come out pretty mental. They were better, a lot better than
talking Saroji
yeah,
and
the white skin was better across the board with those, and the Sumi was more developed, so they just looked much more sellable, bang on, ready to go. I say, and the Benny quality from the Dainichi food was just a step up from everything else. So anything that had, so even the Yamatos, Benny Kikos, Shisuis, Asagi's, anything that had some sort of red on them was brighter and darker. And I said that doesn't make a difference to their quality, but when you're selling fish, if you put two Shishuis in a bowl and one's got dark red and one's got sort of slightly wishy-washy orange, customers
what would be interesting is taking your worst fish and feeding the best food for 10 weeks and see if you do.
Yeah, it's kind of like polishing a turd, isn't it? I think they've got to have a certain element of quality
and just benefit
from the food. So that's where some of the genetics and that's what pays out. But also a lot of the fish on the farm, when they go out to the mud ponds and they get fed the cheapest food that we feed out there, because that's how you sort of farm fish in that scenario, because some of the food's going to ducks and whatever else you use a commercial food. When we harvest those fish, they can look pretty ropey. But obviously they go to a customer's pond where they get better water quality and a better quality of food, and those fish then
blossom
better and better and better. So
Nigel's asked a question here, which has just dropped himself right in it. When do the final results come out, Ricky? They're already out, mate.
Basically, Vince has been doing. Vince is a law unto himself, so he's managed to do film for a whole day and just drop the whole lot in 3 parts without any editing. It's quite a long process. But tonight I did a little. We were going to do it tomorrow and do a proper sit-down chat.
There was some dodgy ass camera work with that.
I was on my own trying to film myself, mate. But yeah, so obviously Vince there's so many comments coming in on the videos that we had to do something just to like give it a bit of an end.
One day Vince will get himself a decent editing program and sit down and put some passion behind his videos.
He loves it. I think the difference the way he does it is you do get it as it comes out the horse's mouth, didn't you? So
yeah, of course you do. But that's the style of as he does it, isn't it? That's not only joking.
That's his thing. I can't knock him. I'm terrible. I should have.
I mean, the first introduction to that bit that you did this evening, that you put out this afternoon, like your finger over it for a good minute and a half as you were trying to show us fish. All you could see was like a smudgy blur of your finger.
I was in a mud pond where we couldn't get all the fish into the tanks. Yeah. The car was running fish up from the mud pond, and I'm stood there thinking, what shall I do? I might as well video some of these. But yeah, trying to stand waist deep in a mud pond and hold a phone in one hand and catch a fish in another.
It's not easy, is it?
Not easy.
Not
And
easy
then
at all. Just trying to keep your balance in the mud pond's hard enough, mate. Never mind trying to do all that. Trying to get hold of a fish and keep your balance is a task. With a camera in one hand and holding on with your teeth. Yeah.
yeah,
not
so
easy,
just
mate.
waiting for a fish to knock it straight out my hand to come flying out the net, and that'd be that, wouldn't it? So yeah, but yeah, we had to get something sort of out there. So yeah, I mean, you could pick holes in a tree. You could do so many different things in a trial, but to make it, it's almost impossible to take out all those variant factors to make it 100%. This is fact. You know, all you can do is give, to the best of your knowledge, this is kind of what we did. I mean, I think that what the performance of the diets is exactly as that's what they'll do. But you could say, oh, this food would be better with these, you know, the Dainichi food. You probably better off feeding that to Go Sankey. You know, if it's so good with the reds, why feed it to a Krashigoi?
Yeah. You're likely to bring up some secondary if you.
Well, no, to be fair, that's something we just haven't seen. But again, that's more of a genetic thing. And had we had more Kahakus and whatever, we would have seen more issues, I reckon, with secondary or failing Benny or whatever. But that's for another day, another dollar. I can't do.
So, Rick, if you had a pond at home, which we know you haven't, and your personal financial position, what food out of the ones that you trialed would you use at home?
Oh, you know, you'd be using Dainichi.
And see if you can say it without moving your
No,
head.
I like making. To be honest, I like using the manga mix. So I would create.
No, out of the foods that you've used only.
I'd use the Dainichi food as long as it speaks for itself. I mean, they want the water clarity in that pond was better the whole time. Not the water quality. I mean, obviously, because they were being fed more, the nitrites was bad in that one. As you know, so we were sort of limiting factors. The Nutrimare probably had the best water quality, but again, they were eating less food and obviously digesting it incredibly well. So the water quality was actually better. They still didn't want to eat beyond that sort of amount. So yeah, I think that's just to do with what's in that food. They either feel full up or it's not as attractive as, say, the Dainichi food. There's something going on there, and whether that's good or bad, you can make up your own mind, isn't it? If you were trying to grow all your fish to the absolute maximum, that's a problem because you're not going to get them to eat to that level. One of the things with Sake Akari is that they eat you out of house and home, don't they? They just want it and want it and want it and want it. So not only do they grow well on it,
do you not think to an extent though, Rick, they get mad, stupid, crazy when they're on that, to the point where they can start damaging themselves?
Well, they do when you've got the high stock levels. That kind of just starts to happen anyway. They all climb out of the water on top of each other, don't they? But it's obviously a food that not only do they do well on it, they want it. They like whatever's in it, that you get that response. And you see it with different foods, don't you? How many times have you got a different brand? Have you chucked some food in? We use, like I say, I've used all sorts of, there's some dog foods I've used, some high fish meal special made dog foods. And if I throw that in alongside our normal pellets, the fish will go around and pick that, gets eaten first. Then they'll go around and eat the other stuff. So they're choosing to eat that, because it obviously smells better, tastes better. It's not necessarily better for them. It's just
an attraction within it. Yeah.
And any fish, I'm going to tell you, Christ, how much billions of pounds are spent on boilies and fishing baits because one's more attractive than another. And the fish get mad on it. And if you put the right one in, they just eat it till you catch them. Basically.
And I guess when you think about it, like, I'm just thinking of some of the customers who bought the food from me over the year. They may only buy one big sack a year to feed the fish. So if that bag's £100 and instead they're going to have to spend £300 over a whole year, is it a big one?
No, it's not. No, I think that's the thing. If I have one pond and 20 fish and I use one sack a year, and I was buying good fish, I would probably splash the cash and buy the best food I could, as long as it is just because it's expensive. This is the thing in it. Obviously, we all expected the Dainichi food to do well because it's expensive, but it might not have done. It might just have been expensive and not done very well because it's just got a price tag on it. But it did what it says on the tin, didn't it? Whether it's as good, I'd love to. Next time, I'm going to try that against sake. So I'm sure someone else will do it and run it against sake colour and just see what the actual difference is. Because there's something about sake, when you smell a sack of fresh open sake Akari, it smells lovely, doesn't it?
It does smell nice, doesn't it? It does have a nice smell, doesn't it? But there are some koi foods out there that absolutely stink. You think, God damn, that doesn't smell good at all.
But yeah, I think it's just a start, and it's the first trial, and if we do it again, we'll fine tune it to fit what we're trying to achieve. We're only doing it for ourselves, aren't we? It's not. The information I'm putting out there it's not for marketing or anything. I'm not making anything. It's just purely here's the information. Take that as you will.
Are you still going to carry on with your normal feeding regime then, going forward, or are you making a change?
No, it'll only be in certain places where we got a lot of. Well, this year we've got a lot of Gosanki to look nice. So one lot's already been on sake Akari colour, and they look. The trouble is when you do that, and those fish look bigger and better, you don't want to do it. But yeah, even that little pond. I mean, on my little growing showfish, there's 20 fish in a little tank, and they've done a sack of sake colour in 5-6 weeks, and that's 20. Well, I suppose they're 25 centimetre toes right now, but they've absolutely destroyed it. And you think, well, if I do that across the farm, I'm going to need 2 or 3 tons of the stuff. just for the better Gosanki, I'm going to need a couple of tons of the stuff, let alone anything else. So it's just not viable. But we'll keep tweaking and trying to find the best.
Just going to bring this up because Craig has brought this up and he's mentioned that he's been having problems for quite some time. So, even though, please give a thanks to Crafty for me. Came to the Birmingham show just to speak to him about parasite problems I'm having. He was so helpful and very appreciated. I owe him a Mackie.
Super. I mean, that's what we're all here for, isn't it? At the end of the day, I think we're all quite approachable, whether it's on this platform or through the shop or through the phone, through an email, through whatever.
Oh, Crafty's got a question. Can I have a Ginrin Shuru Utsura?
No, he wants my Gimmer, and he saw in one of the videos today, didn't he? No, that's an older fish that
you can buy it.
He can't.
No, he can't. Oh shit! There you go. That's a definite no.
No, I'm going to keep. The trouble is, if you get an off fish like that if I want to buy a parent, that's going to cost me realistically a couple of grand. So why sell it for 700 quid, 800 quid, or whatever I'd sell it for, to then shell out?
Well, Crafty give you a couple of grand for it.
I know he's made of money, isn't he? So yeah,
I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Is he going to come in with his £600 bid like he does in video, then back out on it?
So yeah, I was selecting some auction fish yesterday as well. So some of them are quite. As long as
he says he's got the dollar.
He's got the dollar.
Come on, Gaz. How many times he's putting Gaz question? I'm itching. There you go. No.
No. Chance like they jump out of the pond tonight and be brown bread on the floor.
No, don't say that.
Sod's law, mate.
Look at these guys. I asked him. I'm just catching up with comments. I was listening to the conversation.
He's bored at work. Tell me he's working hard, but obviously not. He's been on the phone chasing me for it, and he's not having it.
Right then. So, Dave's. I mean, I think you've answered this. Put you on the spot, Rick. If you was a koi hobbyist, average Joe blogs, what food?
To be honest, if I was average Joe blogs and I couldn't afford those top end £300 a bag diets, I would actually buy a stack of Nutrimare and a sack of Dajiwa colour and mix the two.
There you go. That's what I was trying to get at earlier.
That is honestly
because
what
that would give you a good coloration, good and a good growth, and a nice even middle playing field where you'd be investing a little bit to bring out the best of both of it.
Oh no, I should have said sorry. I'd buy a sack of Coppens from us. Shit sales, wouldn't I? But no, honestly, that is what I'd probably, if you're out there, that mix 50-50 to get the skin quality and that growth and whatever. I think you could combine those foods, and that's obviously we have been doing it. Because I obviously brought a lot more of every diet than I've used, so I've been using it elsewhere as well. So, and that's kind of what I've been doing, because it's just a nice balance, isn't it? You best of both worlds. But I didn't know the Nutrimare had performed as well as it had, but I'd still been using it. But yeah, that's what I do. That's 20 kilos, you know.
The question is this: how would it perform in other people's ponds that have different water chemistry?
Well, I can't answer that, Crafty, because there's so much I can do. But I get what you're saying. I mean, you might find that different water parameters, different hardnesses, different foods have slightly different effects or appetites. But from what I've seen, I would seriously contemplate mixing those two diets. I don't know why. To be fair, the spirulina diet from Coppens is done. As you can see from the video, it's done well. But if you're out there and you're looking at those diets, Nutrimare across the colour Dajiwa, I think would be a nice combination. So you're not just going down sort of a growth route. You're going down that same as you would.
Yeah.
Part colour, part growth. Get the best of all worlds.
Yes, it's like what Crafty just said then. People's ponds are so different, aren't they? And the performance, it doesn't matter what the food is, the performance. And actually think about it, we spoke about it briefly earlier on with the Yamabukis. You know,
mine was blue and then stopped. And I don't think that's one of our problems. When ponds go very green, the fish's appetite just fucking goes through the floor. And obviously, for most people's ponds, that's not an issue. But for us, where we ain't running UVs and we've got big ponds outside, that is an issue. And yeah, you notice it all the time. So,
and that's with it going bottle green, kind of.
Yeah, as soon as it goes green, their appetite is just on the arse. And obviously, to then get a pond clear that's green, you can't put live food in. Well, normally we'd put live food in to clear a pond, but when you've got the fish in there, they eat the live food. So that doesn't work. You can shade the pond, but then you drop the temperature, so you shoot yourself in the foot way. You use watercress to try and make rafts, but the fish just destroy it. It's quite tricky. There's dyes, there's different stuff you can do, but yeah, that water parameter. I think the pH goes high. The algae they just don't like it. And they just don't.
I want you to do one of your trials with the black water.
But I never got round to that, did I? To be fair, that tunnel where I was going to do it got so hot that it was ridiculous. That reflective sheeting in the polyester setup, like, it was just mental. They were just. Well, I didn't use a heater. I quarantined all those Jap fish and didn't have to use a heater because the heat ramped themselves and went through. So yeah, that's if the water was black, I think I might have cooked them. But it would be worth a try. I forgot I was going to do that. It's one of my harebrained schemes.
What's the food you want to do? What food are you going to do next time?
Joe's been going on about doing one just with wheat jam. So with no colour, just a basic wheat jam diet. Going to have to do it with sake colour. We have to bite the bullet, and because that's the gold standard. That's got to be. This is what can be achieved, and I'd quite like to do it against the Dainichi food just to see where they stack up against each other. But then that's a lot of money. 2 ponds cost them quite a chunk. So I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those. It's. You might find that you could. There's so many options in there. You could tell myself, actually, let's trial mixing different foods, you might get better outcomes by having 2 different diets because you've got different ingredients, and so you get an even better response from those foods. Who knows? Questions on a postcard.
I guess as well, even going down to using a 3 mil pellet and against a 6 mil pellet, I wonder whether there would be any difference in the fish then.
We kind of, to be fair, we kind of had that, but all the Dainichi foods like 7 mil, it's quite big. So from day one, they were on big pellets, whereas the Nutrimare food, I had different sizes. So they started on a smaller food and went up. Didn't seem to make any difference. They just, and like I said, the sake yakari I've got, which I was feeding to my little toe size 8 mil, and when I started feeding them, they were only 15 centimeter fish, and they just ate that. I don't know how. It's bigger than their heads. They just destroy it. So yeah, we tend to use smaller foods on the farm because they can get more of it in them. But actually, I think if the food's good and they want it, they'll get it in them regardless, don't they? They're quite savage, aren't they, when they want to be? So yeah, there's so many options, and obviously
Simon's put there, Dainichi was a clear hands down winner. But
No,
against
no
sake colour growth, they don't do a sake colour growth. They do sake colour or growth. They don't do a sake colour growth. Pretty sure they don't, do they?
no, the colour, the colour's still 40-odd%, 38% protein, 40%. Still, and they grow like wildfire. I never used to colour. They grow so quick on it. It's, I don't know. Does they do good on it? Yeah, I mean that'd be the way to do it.
But they grow well, just on balance. I mean, I've had the best growth I've ever had in my pond this year. I know that's been down to the temperatures, but food as well, obviously. You've got to be eating what they were eating, and digesting it to be able to put that growth on. And that's just been on balance and colour. Sake.
Actually, what Joe suggested, are those ponds free now for the winter? Are they empty?
No. Well, they are today, but they won't be by next week. Guarantee it. There'll be stuff full of.
You're just thinking because obviously there's various different wheat germ pellets. It'd be interesting to see what you get over the winter months.
I don't really use wheat germ. Yeah.
But this is a good.
There'll be stuff with little toes eye next week after. So
you're going straight back into another round off, getting some growth on them again.
No, the temperatures have dropped out now, so they'll just be used for overwintering.
No, you're not going to plug them in.
Well, I'd like to, but they're not built. To be fair, they're not built. They are insulated, but
yeah, not to the point where you'd be. Maritz Koipon said there, hopefully Pedigree has felt their ass has been kicked this season, so might just review their pricing strategy. Who knows? I doubt that very much, mate.
I doubt that very much. It's still the best food. It's proven to be the best food, and people will still buy it. Yeah. So, yeah. I'd say the trouble with the Dainichi stuff, it's all coming through Koi Water. I think they've sold out and can't get any more for God knows how long anyway. So it's not like it's an easy supply of it. It's not like it's a ready answer, and it's more expensive than the sake colour anyway.
Simon says no point gas feeding sake. He's always at minus up in those hills. It's my ponds are proper cold, but they're still getting sake, mate, regardless.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those, isn't it? Diets. It's always talked about in it, and you'll have hardcore people that say this is good and I use that and turns my water to shit. Or
I got a question there. Yorkie's Koi put Gaz, what do you feed? Oh, missed it. What do you feed in the winter, me old boat? Don't feed in winter, mate. Once fish stop coming up for it because it gets cold quite soon over here, mate. They don't come up, they don't feed. So I'll give them an offering, but if they don't come up for it, then it's just skimmed off until such time as they start showing that they're interested in feeding again. I just leave them. They have note.
What temperature are you at the moment, Gaz?
I was back up about 14, 15. A little. But
so we've been
having. Hey?
You're warmer than I am.
Yeah, it did warm up a little bit, but then we had that heavy downpour again at weekend, just gone, and a massive, great big stormy, windy front come through for about 3-4 days, which chilled it off a little bit. But the last time I looked, which was, what day was it? Thursday, Tuesday, was at 14.5 degrees. So it just dropped a couple of degrees. But yeah.
I don't even know what. I haven't even looked at.
What are you in polytunnels? Unheated, we're at about 22.
Yeah, I was going to say 21 and the polytunnels in the sheds.
21, 22, depending.
Yeah. Don't know.
But yeah, mate, I don't do the wheat germ. I know a lot of people will say you should, and I don't, and I wouldn't, and I'm not going to do. I just don't see point. When fish stop feeding, they stop feeding. And yes, I might be very well giving them food that they can't digest and all the rest of it. But funny how they're all still alive and still swimming around and doing perfectly well.
Yeah, cook up some pearl barley for them. Go old school.
That's it. I've never used anything like that. I don't even know where would you get pearl barley from?
Anyway, it's cheap. Go to the supermarket and buy it.
Oh, can you?
You got to cook it up. It's just
So you just boil it up.
So you put it in your stews. Lovely in a stew.
I might do, mate, but yeah, I'd have to ask my wife if she does put it in a stew. That'll get me asking.
To be fair,
I've never bought it.
That just to rattle the cage and do 1 pond on maize, cooked maize or pearl barley or something like a cereal food that costs nothing, and see what we get, because obviously it's used in, again, growing carp. That's what's used. You can't afford to feed pellets. You feed basically cereal. We boil up maize, boil up pearl barley.
Yeah.
In it goes. And yeah, they grow on it. It's just how much waste they produce on it. I've never really tried it, but perhaps we should. Just a pain in the bum, isn't it?
What's that there? Max put in there. DT Koi. Are the lads that built your new pond on the go still? Need a new pond next year. You got a new pond, Dave?
Mark's putting in another pond. Hey.
Yeah, Mark's talking about putting in another pond. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Well, I'm saying my customers, but customers that have used us that have been talking about doing new ponds. I know another gentleman that's on with doing a new pond as well, or will be doing in the very, very, very near future. Winter build projects. That's what you want, isn't it?
Just keep building ponds. Lock and load them. When's the BKKS thing coming out? Wasn't it yesterday or was it next Friday? The votes come in. Finished voting, haven't we?
Oh, the close the vote.
It was yesterday, wasn't it?
I found out about my membership.
What was the Chinese food called, Rick?
Dijawi.
There you go. What he said.
If you go on eBay, Mark at Pride and Joy Koi, he's the only one that sells it. So it's not for my benefit. It's a very
Dean,
nice.
hope you're well, mate. Sorry, just saying a lot to Dean because he hasn't been up for a while. Hope you're good, mate.
Super light, totally different again. It was the lightest food by a country mile, which made doing the trial tricky because it's different weight as well. So I couldn't just use a scoop for each pond. It had to be all weighed and fannied about with. But yeah, not quite like the food, but yeah, it didn't grow as fast on it. But it was their colour food. They do a grow food.
I wonder a combination of the growth and the colour.
That's the problem.
Well,
just
that would do.
so many variances.
There's so many variants, but yeah, I'd say the ingredients are exactly the same in the grow. Well, say different levels of stuff, but it's the same ingredients in both foods. I would mix them. I would mix the theirs with something like the Nutrimare, or we used a load of Aqua stuff this year as well. That was quite good, the growth food, but that's a commercial. It's got no colour enhancers in it. It's just a commercial food, and can't knock that either. Another very cheap, good food.
Dave, This is some right comment today. Put some in your flask, guys. What, pale barley?
Have you never had pale barley?
I don't know. I don't know if I have or not, mate.
It's like little white balls in the bottom of your stew almost. It's
Semolina.
no, it's not semolina.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't sound like something I've ever had. Frog spawn in my stew. No thanks.
Do they put it in a soup?
Put it in soups. Yeah, super high, but super good for you. Probably a superfood. Bit of that and kale or whatever, and kelp and. Yeah. Yeah. It's used all over, mate. But yeah, maybe I'll do. I don't know if I could be asked to do a trial with food like that because it's got to be boiled and wet and fed and it sinks, so you can't see them eating it. And
What's everybody right? Let's have a quick see as what's everybody's average temperature. Don't say exactly where you are. No, I don't want your address, unless you want me to pop a bit down for a visit. But what's your average temperature in your rough area where you live? Let's see what most people are at now.
Let's do Scotland, North, Midlands, South.
South, and then really south.
Where's really South?
well, you're on the you can see the
Edge.
sea.
I mean, you're really south, aren't you? Pretty much.
I can't go any further.
Off edge of cliff, swim a bit.
So, would you say yours is outside?
11 in the sheds, 13 outside in the middle one.
Shit, man, it's
and-
got cold. I was thinking it got cold by us. Right, hang on.
Yeah,
We've got
21
Scotland 15, Rob 15, but don't say where. Budget Pond 16 degrees, Derbyshire, 16.8 Hampshire, 24 heated. That's not what I asked. Sorry. 24 Midlands. Daz Holland says 16. Doesn't matter if you're heated. Thank you very much, Colin. Yorkie's Koi 16.5 mil, but there we go. Pearl barley, garlic, honey, and farmers. Top up.
Marco, Scotland, out on the balcony.
What's this? What are you on about? Pearl barley? Pearl barley, garlic, honey, in a thermos, top up with boiling water, leave overnight. Done. I'm going to have to try that and see what it's like.
Yeah, I think that's for the fish, not for eating.
24, Daniel Adams, you're not 24 degrees down south, you're heated.
Heated,
That's got to be heated. Nobody's got 24 degrees. Not that
It
fucking
says
warm down
heated.
there.
It says right there.
Oh,
Heated.
sorry, it does. 16 southeast, 19 heated, Washington states. East Riding 16. So mine's about an average temperature then for a change.
Maps are just cold.
Why am I cold?
For a few months of the year, I do get a little bit of temperature, and I'm actually at an average temperature for once, which I pretty much guarantee is going to change over the next couple of weeks because it is. It's starting now. Coming home, it's nearly dark. Leaving in the morning, it's dark, and yeah, those are when it starts. You can see it, can't you, when you're going out to car in the morning, and it's starting to get -8 in Huddersfield. Sometimes feels like it, mate. And Nigel, yours doesn't count because it's in a great big fucking shed.
Yeah.
Can't really give. I'm talking about an average pond unheated outside, exposed to the elements. A typical
Not in a
everyday.
polytunnel, not in a greenhouse.
Not in a polytunnel, not in a greenhouse, not in a lumberyard, not in a log cabin, not with a solid fuel burner burning away outside of it, and all that rest of it. Just straight old normal everyday point. 14.5, which seems to be about the average of 14 to 16. Apart from those with the sneaky eaters that are all already spending your brass. But you can't take it with you guys, can you? Right then. Has everybody got any topics or other? Matt, have you got any topic? I mean, I did challenge you last week to turn around and say, bring a topic to the table next week.
You did not.
I'm sure it did.
How can you say that?
I did ask you last week if you got out, and if I said, if not, think about it. Have a think about it. See what you can come up with. I love doing this too. It's fun. See the great proper going
I
here.
know the bit I did mention last week about the pond windows when you go past 60 centimetres in the depth. Rick then put somebody on to me that wanted a window and a liner, and his measurement was 65 centimeters. And I gave him both the prices, and he was gutted. So what,
He'd already built the pond though, so
Yeah.
he couldn't just have a,
he's got his builder back to put another course of blocks on the window to bring it up because the difference was so much.
Read that, Matt. Jazz, no topics and late. Get intel.
Thank you, buddy.
Andy J says 15 unheated, covered in Canterbury. Right, so you've actually managed to maintain 5 degrees by putting polycarb, 0.5 degrees on putting polycarb on.
wow.
Which may have made a bit of a difference to the couple of degrees drop that I got if I'd have had something to cover my pond up, though, to be fair, mate. So
Right. I got told off last week for not saying thank you to Paulio for doing our artwork for that weekend event. The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory stuff.
oh.
So
Thank you.
thank you very much. I was going to put it on, but I can't find a picture of it.
Oh,
Hang on.
you're didn't Matt share it with me last week? I buried it in a better deleted conversation.
Yeah.
It's on Rick's page.
Rick's got a page.
Yeah. And a YouTube channel.
Has it?
I keep giving it all to Vince to put on his and never put it on mine. I have got some videos I'm gonna have to put on mine because I can't send them to Vince at the minute. But yes, so he did some just out of the blue. He did all this for us. I never asked him. He goes, "Yeah," and
you're talking about crap. I've just clicked on to send invites out. Share second screen. Here we go. I hope this is what you're talking about.
I hope you got the technology. Yes, mate. Yeah, he's done another one. He sent me a picture and everything in a framed thing with Dave and Vince's Oompa Loompas and the whole works, mate.
That one.
Yes. Koi events.
I want a silver and a gold ticket.
Eh?
Well, I want a silver. Come on.
He did that off his own back. So I've had people what do I get for the tickets? And I'm like, what tickets? What are you on about? So it's the same. It's just, Saturday's Vince's day, so it's golden. And Sunday's our day, so it's silver. I don't know.
Platinum, that, mate. Platinum,
yes, it's better.
Just misspelt it.
Mate.
But there you go. Pretty good, that.
Yeah, it's great stuff, isn't it? That. People doing that for you. That and sending through. I sent the other day.
Let's just hope you don't get done for nicking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's copyrighted picture.
Yeah, be right.
We'll take that off right quick. Luke Sponsai says, "Hi, got one question. Is there any particular reason why Goshka varieties grow slower than others?"
Just to breed them, to create them in the first place. There's some bloodlines that do grow quite well. So yeah, certain farms. We spent a lot of money on a couple of Goshkis from farms where they do grow big, but the offspring was so ugly. It was just you used to toss up between getting them to grow and have a sort of nice, thick floating benny that everyone loves. And, yeah, it's one of those. Platinums are another one. Real nice platinums tend to grow a bit slow. You get some that grow really well, but they're a bit slightly creamier colour. But those insanely white ones tend to grow slower than like a Yamabuki. Is what it is. You could say the same about Ginrins, but that's slowly changing. Breeders are picking fish that often can grow massive and getting Ginrin into it, and now they're growing meter-long Ginrins, which is just insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers.
Jonathan, topic. Comment from Ryan. Koi dealers going to Japan for 10 days or less are wasting their time.
Cheers, Ryan.
Is that a question or I mean that sounds more like a statement rather than a question.
I think it's different for
buying trips 10 days or less. Ryan said he's stupid. I mean, I suppose it depends on who you are and what you're going for. If you remember public buying over there, 10 days would be
the whole point of the agent, the whole point of the people out there is to tell you what's available where you want to be going for your budget. That's why.
You could say the harvest would be not stupid, but not as beneficial. 10 days because
harvests are all you'd hardly get to see any, would you? I mean, what happens if you didn't get the exact date? Bad weather conditions, you wouldn't be able to get to see a harvest if it cancelled.
The February one, where obviously we went over and you went over, Gaz, everybody's done it. If you're going over there to buy the toe site, they're already bought back in.
Yeah, and that's the point. What's your rate? What you're paying your people on the ground out there that are spending months at a time? You know, at Sushi's out there, whatever, he's out there 4 months, 5 months, just literally going from farm to farm to farm to see what's available, what quality, what types, what sizes, what prices. So when you get there and you go, I really want this sort of thing, he'll go, I know just the place.
Yeah.
You don't randomly just go from farm to farm on the off chance, do you? Otherwise
no, not at all, no.
You might strike it lucky, but the chances are you're not going to. But yeah, it'd be nice to go out and spend. What's Ryan out there for? 6 weeks?
Well, he's done yesterday. Well, today would be that's his first week, so he's another 5 weeks out of that.
Yeah, and he'll be chasing himself around from breeder to breeder as they keep harvesting like it is.
Yeah,
but that's what you do, isn't it? You got to put the work in.
It was saying on his video that average is like a 15 or 16 hour day up there in mountains doing it. But, you know, going from one place to another, that's your average day, 15 to 16 hours. From get up start to getting back to getting in and getting your head down kind of thing. I suppose then after that, there's meals and food afterwards as well, so you can eat before you can back up and do it all over again.
But you got to do it. There'd be so many people out there chasing those fish.
Yeah.
Days make a difference, don't they? They're available today, they're sold tomorrow. Yeah.
Andrew Murrell says anything longer than 10 days and Matt would lose his voice. Say it.
Hey, if I was out there for more than 10 days, I think I'd lose my bollocks. The missus, she'd kill me.
But I think as a company doing what Ryan's doing, you need to be out there for as long as you can and get into all of them as soon as you can. As soon as you hear on the grapevine that the harvest is going ahead and what have you. But I think for like what you guys did, you went with someone that's already done that, got all that infrastructure in place. Oh, yeah. So you're being guided, aren't you? In a sense, taken to where you need to go to get what you want to get. So that's a little bit different, isn't it?
Being milked. He's an expert milking you like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. He's only little to hands.
I don't like being boasting, but Christ for it. How big?
Matt, I've seen the size of your wallet. When he milks your wallet, mate.
Not going to be doing with your wallet, Matt.
That's what they're out there for.
Blocking the cash out of it.
Have you been given a clearance check, Rick?
No. Not even going down that path.
Leave it to me. I'll speak to her.
Oh, you got a trip.
I do what?
Have you got a trip again? Are you thinking?
Well, I'm definitely going in February.
I was saying it's quiet just in case
and he's never ever going. He's going again. That was the most stressful week of my life. I'm never going back.
Yeah, but you enjoyed it, mate, didn't you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was real anticlimax for me in one part, which ruined it, but then I soon got over it.
Look, listen to this for a comment. Gaz, when I were a lad, we used to work 22 hours a day. 2 hours, keep them back to it. Is that when you were down pitch, Mark? Yeah.
Yeah.
22 hours shoveling shit and digging like random being a crazy bastard duck. That one.
Ryan includes his night out karaoke bar and
Is all that part of the 15 hours?
15-hour days, man.
22 hours a day. That's a long time ago anyway, Mike, when you were a lad.
But yeah. No, I'm not going back. Not yet.
No. Is that 100%?
Nothing's ever 100%, is it?
So it could be that. It could be. It could be on the cards, ladies and gents. Should we go a little earlier than usual? What time are you even on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
it's crack. Go home.
Then we can just sit and talk about Oakland. Let's do a little bit of an earlier koi appreciation. Why not? And hopefully this time, while we're doing a koi appreciation, everybody won't leave. And if they all leave, then I get to finish early. The job's a good one. It's a win-win.
Win.
Win-win-win. Right then. And the reason for doing this is I apologise all because I actually did cock up, and we've redone the same fish again that we've done before. But there are some very nice examples from different people this time. So we'll get straight into our first one.
Dun, dun, dun. Matt, have you sent one in?
No.
No.
Oh, mate. Colin's going to be gutted.
Oh, are we putting a 30-day rule in this one?
No, you don't even have to own the fish. You just take a photo of anyone's fish and send it in, mate. We're only appreciating them. It doesn't matter, does it?
Well, that's nice.
So that is a hishui, yeah.
A Hana Shisui. Is it classed as a Hana Shisui or a he Shisui?
I class that
It's
as
a hishui.
even though you've got a blue shoulder.
Yeah, well, this is my point. So when does it definitely become high?
Hana.
That's a Hana Shisui.
When does it become Hana? And when does it not? Because it's when
Well,
the red.
it is literally a red fish with the black.
But it's got a little bit here on it. So
Yeah.
technically it's not. But
As in the
it's
show.
pretty damn close doing it.
Yeah, it is
That's
very
right.
close to it. But would that be down scored because of the blue above its shoulder?
No, it's just not. It's not symmetrical, which would potentially, if you look at it, it's not as appealing because it would be nicer with that a little bit of blue both sides, wouldn't it?
It has a little bit on the gill plate, hasn't it, on that side, but just
Yeah,
not as much as what it has on the other side.
If you look at a fish, it's like almost like that. The flow of it just looks a little bit off with that. Quality's lovely. It's not. It's a lovely
nice
little fish, isn't
yeah,
it?
it is.
But
Nice fish.
yeah, you'd ideally want it a little bit blue the other side to balance it up, in my opinion.
Which we all know means everything.
It means absolutely jack shit because I don't know what I'm
Fish
talking about.
brands. This fish is as it is an older fish, it's still pretty damn good for its older age because he does say that he's had it quite a good long time, and he's been using this same video for the last 3 years, ladies and gents.
But it's still got a nice like. There's more of a akawaka backers. What do you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how do you pronounce that? Hayawakabaki. Or whatever it is.
But it's a big, strong unit. And
Big, strong body for a noise. And there we go, a lovely shot of the window.
Yeah. Got balls all over the top of it or something.
Now this is nice.
Oh,
Michael Thompson's AOK 46 cm and stunning fish. And I don't even like them, but that's nice.
yeah, that's hard to beat, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's pretty.
that's pretty good. That's a lovely zip on that.
Yeah, it's like a big wide, almost like double scale zip. It's got that looks meant.
Yeah.
I can't knock that. He's doing well. I mean, that's What'd you say? Everything about that's top
Cock
drawer,
on.
isn't
Yeah, it is. Very much so. Now, Collins. That's nice as well.
it? Yeah. If we hadn't just seen the other one, that's the winner. But it's still pretty good.
That is pretty damn good. Like that, Col. Again, really nice zip on it too.
Lovely body, lovely. The clean head.
Ayahuasca. Thank you very much, Vince. Ayahuasca.
The zipper's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
Now this is lovely.
Float your boat. It's different, isn't it?
That's right nice, that mate.
You ain't gonna see many of them, are you?
No.
What, a video of a fish of yours in a bowl?
it's the first one in Mum's side. It's not been 4cm. Rick, have you got many of them?
Nope.
No. Shit.
No.
That's a bastard.
No. There's a few. There'll be a few available at the weekend, but yeah, that's quite a.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's not as good as those other two, though, is it? So, but it's different. That's why I put it in.
I like that. I like the ginring about it, mate. And I like the fact that it's got less Benny on it. For me, if I were going to have a Shisui, that's how I'd rather it be than having it be a lot of Benny on it.
Well, I think next year when that head cleans up a bit more, that dark bit would disappear in the head.
Is that one from this year, Rick?
No, that's a knee size, about 30 centimeters.
Mark says, "I hope you're saving one for me." Got that up against the Oxo pocket. I've no chance.
I think I got a photo of it as well. Look, I did a photo.
Yeah, I know you did, mate. It's nice. That's beauty, that, mate. Very nice. And I think, right, that's the last ones that we've had sent to there. Oh, me.
Where's Taxi? Tony's just won Best Deutsch at a koi show with one of our shit.
I'm bringing you up.
All right, I'll let him off.
And there's Tony's. Is that the one that got Best Deutsch with as well? Nice, Tony. And is that from you, Rick?
Yeah.
Right, twice, Best
No.
Deutsch.
It's lucky that is it Mike Thompson's one? Is it Mike Thompson, the first one? That's good.
That is good.
But the zippers, there's a little bit on.
Just that little cluster where it deviates
quite.
a little bit, doesn't it? But
If that was up against that. Oh,
and another one.
another one, Tony.
Fucking Tony in wet Hannes Yasua.
So that's got quite a nice clean head as well. Just a bit too chunky. That's the trouble with Shishoo, it needs a bit more volume in the tail tube to make
It's
it
not
look
too bad, though, is it?
bad. No, it's not bad, but it's they do tend to get that chunky just behind the head, don't they? Behind the gills with their Deutsch and it.
And this one is the one that made me realise that I'd ballsed up, ladies and gents. Now, one of these are the other. I'm going to show both because they're both nice. Shit, that's bright. Oh, God damn, look at that. He only sent that in because it matches the other one. But that's a nice Asagi.
Yeah, the red fins, they do look better Asagi when you've got red dorsal, red pecs, the whole lot.
And that's the one that made me realise, shit, we've already done Shisui because I sold him this earlier on this year.
And that's pretty bloody good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice too.
But do we not just do Deutsch fish or something?
We did do Deutsch fish, and he could have entered that, couldn't he?
Shoeies, that might just be your Deutsch fish.
That's sweet.
They are good. Good examples of them are nice, aren't they?
Yeah, there's been some very nice examples, and I think oh shit, where's that gone? I think I'm going to have to say,
I'm going with Michael Thompson.
yeah, I'm just going to say it same, mate. I think that for me, that's nice. Play it, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Mike almost needs to go on Hall of Fame because he's got so many good fish.
It's just the zip on it is absolutely cock on, isn't it? I mean, if you're going to nitpick, you might say that they were at one scale that were a little shy there in tail tune, but some nice examples of Shisui's there.
That's just as good as they get, though, isn't it? Really. What else? Just we all want that one.
Yeah, it's nice that. Very nice. How many did that drop? Not a lot. There we go. That made a bit of a change. We didn't drop too many with that one. So there you go, ladies and gents. Right, people in the audience. Let me pick somebody. Let me turn that off. I'm going to pick somebody at random. Luke's Bonsai. Do us a favour, mate. Pick us a variety of koi for next week if you're still watching.
Preferably one Matt's got loads of.
Go on, mate.
When Jonathan were a lad, he used to eat with 36 hours, 9 hours off, rinse and repeat for 7 days, then 1 day off and go again. God damn.
What's that?
Working hours when Jonathan were a lad. I mean, that's got to be back a long, long time ago, obviously, for working them kind of hours.
Depends what you did as a job, I suppose.
36 hours. Working 36 hours straight. I don't think anybody's done that since days have been practically in sweat houses.
Yeah. You wouldn't get away with it as a driver anymore, would you?
No, you won't. No, not at all. Daisu Sankey. I think we've already done Sankey. In fact, definitely done Sankey. Try again. Go for another one. In fact, if anybody else out there would like to pick a fish, or if anybody would like to pick a variety, just type one in. Let us know.
Non-koi variety in your pond.
Non-koi variety in my pond. Snails.
Could be. Might be a slow start.
The ugliest fish. Can't just sold it.
You sold that little short thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I sold it. I sold it. It didn't go down well.
Mate. Don't know. Is Ryan having success out there? I see a few bits popping up on WhatsApp.
Akamatsuba has already been done. Kajaku has already been.
Yeah, Kajaku's done.
Charatsura, there's only 4 of them in UK, so not much more point in doing that one.
No, bloody hell, mate.
Yellow Monkey, but I'm not here next week. I'm in Turkey. 1990s guys working for the Dutch on the old fridge trucks, 44 tonners. Shit. Kiyotsura. Crafty says, I have one. I have. You have one. Chags. Chags haven't been done. Yeah, has Chags been done?
I don't know.
Tancho Kajaku. Well, technically we tried doing tanchos and marathons and nobody knew difference, so that were a bit of a shitstorm. Eric Gorman says, thank you, Gaz. Missed mine. Didn't. Was it wasn't in there, Eric? If you don't post it in there, I'm sick of chasing around and looking after them. I've explained and showed it for God knows how many years on a trot, where it needs to be posted week in, week out. There's 9 comments.
He has some good fish as well. You want to find it.
Good fish. I know. He should have a real nice one. But it's not there. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there. Did you post it just on the actual group? Or did you?
Who was that said that, guys?
Eric Gorman, wasn't it?
Eric Gorman's. Because I ain't even got any bloody pictures. What's going on with Facebook, man? It's a bag of shit.
Facebook is just terrible, isn't it?
It has been of late. It's been absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I get comments come through days after they've been sent.
Yeah.
Pop up.
Darren Purdy posted 4 Aragoki koi last week, and I didn't get them till Tuesday this week.
Yeah. You need a new Dropbox for them all. To be fair, Telegram playing up as well. I can't send videos on that at the minute. That could be my phone.
Come on, Ruse. We've done Come on, Ruse.
I don't know.
Kanoko Asagi. It's technically an Asagi, and we've done Asagi. Think you missed man. Eric, it's not there, mate. If you want, mate, you feel free to add it.
Have we ever done Benny Keith?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let me search for you and see if it comes up with your fish.
Have we ever done Benny Kikasuri? Kikasuri? Benny Kikakuru.
Benny Kikakuru. No, Benny Kikakuru has not been done. For definite. It's Big Brother, guys. Yeah. I liked it this afternoon. I hadn't even got any of my pictures where people normally post just in general. Even them are not there. Look, I'm not lying.
I think Facebook's just gone. It's broken.
Yeah. Normally, just here underneath that section there would be every picture that's being posted in the group, and that's gone. So I shall search for you. I shall search anything butterfly. We said koi. Susan, we said koi. Oh, crap. Where's the search? There it is. Let's search for Eric.
I think Benny Kiko would be good.
Benny.
Yeah. Maybe we should do it the week after. That's a nice one.
This is now wet.
Oh, mate. She won't look at the camera.
I tried to turn away.
Go. Sorry, dog. Well, my dog's up now.
Right, let's see.
Have you taken it down the chute yet?
Oh, I've even missed another one here. Hang about. Right, let's just got another one. This is a right chunk, man. Jesus Christ. Ochiba, being done. Shurimuj is definitely not being done.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Have we done the golden corn?
No. But we are going to.
There must be a few people who got those out there, and it'd be interesting to see the variances between them.
Local window cleaners. Eric Gorman. There we go. That's why you blagged me out.
Why is that only just turned up then?
Because I clicked on all for some reason. It didn't show as
The scalation is mental, isn't it?
That's massive.
Yeah, that's a big old fish.
Yeah. If it had a slightly broader
Head.
bigger, that would be someone else, isn't it? It's just the body's so
How
big.
big is it?
50 cm. Looks
Wow.
bigger than that.
It does, doesn't it?
I like that.
I like the zip on it, to be fair. It's quite nice. I like that. Almost kind of like a Arigoki type. It's like it's got the zip in the middle and then an extra row either side of it.
Yeah, hasn't it? It's got the extra. It's almost going Aragoki in it with the sort of size and amount of scales. It's just almost too powerful, isn't it? It's got that same thing. Bit more volume at the back end and a bigger head, and it'll be absolutely insane. But I do, yeah. Quality's nice.
Yeah. Again, thank you. I did find it for you, mate. What about a fish by a breeder? We did that other week by celebrating everybody that had the fish. Oh, fish by a breeder. Now then.
Aoki.
Yeah, that could be one. We could do that. We could do that. Any variety from your favourite breeder. How about that?
It's any fish.
Exactly. So we should get to see a lot of different variations, shouldn't we? And we should get
be a long night.
we should get a bit more than 10.
Could be a long old night though.
Yeah, but right. Your favourite fish from any breeder of any variety.
There you go.
That narrows it down a little.
There we go. It's opened up for everyone then, isn't it?
Yeah. Your favourite, that's a good shout, Crafty, nice one. Your favourite fish from your favourite breeder.
I want weird and wonderful one week because I've got one fish
You've
out
got
there with
some
one
weird
eye.
and wonderful.
I've got one fish out there with one pectoral.
Well, you get rid of
You
them.
haven't, Matt. You've got to realise, mate, that when you've sold them, they're no longer there. You've
No,
not got no.
I
They're
want to
no
see
longer yours. Just because you brought it over here and you had, you picked it with an head.
Oh no!
Or a tail or a pick missing.
I didn't pick that one. I can 100% remember Rick picking it.
Oh, throwing you under the bus there, mate.
Good.
Straight out.
Well, I don't mind. Is it a Goshki then?
No, one was a Sankey.
I'm trouble to pick any Sankeys, you liar.
The koi that, right, Jonathan says, the koi that change colour with temp Kawari monos. Kawari
Maybe
monos.
the following week.
Kawari monos would be any fish that didn't fit into the normal category, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Jonathan, do you Kumon Roo? Kumon Roo's changed, don't they? Temperatures.
So the Watchable or some.
Hmm.
Is that good or bad? Perhaps we should have a discussion.
Yeah, because they darken off and lighten up, don't they?
Some.
Yeah, those two water birds I had in the polytunnel, they were really, really dark. And now take them out of the polytunnel and put them into the sheds, and they've gone really, really light
But
and look better.
I know, but is it not better to have a nice Watchable that stays exactly the same, regardless of where you put it or what you do with it?
Yeah, I'd like that. Do they exist?
Yeah,
Where do you get them from?
me. No, we got one line. We got one line that stays as is, like the Crashiga Watchable. They just don't. They are what they are. But the normal Watchable change like.
Yeah,
Crazy.
they do, mate, don't they? I actually thought I thought it was a dark, I thought it was a Kumon Roo at first because it was so dark. I thought, my God, what's that? And I brought it up, I picked it up, put it in a bowl for a photograph, and within 30-40 seconds, it turned into an Achiba. I'm like, what the hell? Would have not, couldn't even see the underlying pattern until the surrounding lightened up. And then I thought, well, there you go. Yeah. Everybody's
That's not ideal, though, is it, really. If you buy a fish to see a pattern, you want to be able to see the pattern. If you put it in your pond and it goes dark.
Andrew said we could have done any fish that Vince hasn't shouted dibs at. Fucking hell. There wouldn't have been up to pick them, would there? That'd be it. Michael Thompson, we haven't done Bendigo, no. But if you've got a Bendigo that you like from your favourite breeder, submit it next week.
There you go. That opens the door to.
It does. It opens the door to everything and everybody, then, doesn't it?
One fish per person. Otherwise, it gets crazy.
One fish per person. Your best fish in your pond.
Yeah, your favourite fish from your favourite breeder. There you go. And that
Well,
opens-
what happens when your favourite fish is from a breeder you don't like?
Don't matter, does it?
What do you screwed then? Get into it. Bowl of Doomfish.
I reckon Tony's going to have a nervous twitch next week, only being able to put one in.
Unusual koi. See, these are all ideas. Remember this, guys, for next week. Unusual koi.
Yeah.
Colin says go Sanka. Have we done?
Let's go, Tanky.
We've
But
done,
you
well,
could
we've
go
done them all individual, haven't we?
Aquatics. It's in the picture there, isn't it?
That one.
That one.
Go Sanka. That's Terry's. Terry's. That's too many to choose from. Hang about. Ball of doom. Yeah. Ball of fish doom. Yeah. Way too many. Vince has had one of every category.
I've learned how to sort it out now. I just harvest ponds when he's not there.
Well, that'll do it. But no, there's a few good suggestions there. If there ain't no Benny guys entered next week, then we could do Benny guys as well. But I am going to want Welsh Dragons. That's a
Not yet.
mythical beast.
Tell it on Tony, mate. I think
Jonathan says it's autumn colours. We've already done them. Tubers have been done. And I don't want people getting peed off with doing the same thing.
No.
I'm going to have to make a list next year.
Oh my god! Is it bedtime yet? Done in.
Is it what?
Bedtime yet?
Are you tired, mate? Are you done it?
Went off, didn't you? 2 o'clock in the morning, Crafty was still chewing my ear off.
Was he really?
Well, I was still sat. I think he was on. I might have been sat.
He could have gone. Could have gone for all you know. I'm guessing he's either running extremely late this evening, or he's still driving home, or he's said, "Sod it, I'm not bothering."
Night off, mate. Take a night off. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Yeah. Anything with Coochie Benny.
Coochie Benny. I got a few of them.
Yeah. That could be for another week, couldn't it? So next week we've got
Yeah.
favourite from your favourite breeder.
Favourite from your favourite breeder. But there's a lot of suggestions there for next week and weeks after, until we get to whenever people. Unusual. Kawari Monos. Jonathan's sorry, guy, been done.
Oh, hang on. I've got something. Hang on. Oh, did I do a photo? Hang on. I got a quiz for you.
A quiz. Here we go, ladies and gents.
That's a complete lie. It's not a quiz.
Oh, you lied.
I did. Hang on. Let me.
Matt's trying to think of a question for next week, aren't you, Matt?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at my new live auctioning site that I'll be using.
Oh.
And literally all you have to do to bid is go, "Whit." That's it. "Whit."
What are you buying?
But
You don't want another box.
It'll be for me to go live.
Oh, you mean it right? You mean for you to actually do auctions on?
And the money's automatically taken. You get a postage label to come up for the fish. Job done.
And how much is that? How much of a kickback do they take for that facility?
3.5%.
WhatsApp's free.
Okay.
They don't take any percent.
No, but you imagine how much time you spend label-wise collecting your monies, answering your telephone, getting your labels. You don't have to do any of that. Whoop, done.
Is it worth the 3% to you, mate?
£3 in every 100, definitely.
There you go.
Right. Hang on, Gaz. Something coming.
I'm guessing he's going to be on Telegram.
How's it worked? It was just unusual koi. Might need some help. What is this?
Unusual koi. What is this?
It's definitely got Kujaku in there somewhere.
It's like a Kajaku and Benny kind of crossed, isn't it?
It's pretty much non-metallic. It has got a touch of metallic. I know what it is, but I don't know what you'd actually call it.
You know what it is. You know what
Well,
the line.
I know where it came from, but I wouldn't. It might need a new name because it don't really fit.
So that would definitely be a Kawarimono.
Yeah, that's Mr. Take can make a new name for that. It was we sold a whole pond of fish, and it was one in there. It's too small to go over. And I was like, well, actually, I really like that. I'm going to keep it and grow it. But yeah,
that's what it's become.
That's
what is it?
That's what
is
it is
it
now.
Kajaku? Hang about. Redhead koi, Kajaku Goshke,
I was going to say Goshke.
Kinshoa,
No.
Heinz 57. It looks like a Goshke cross Kajaku.
That's what it looks like, but the black, it's got black edging on the outside of the scale.
Yeah, which is more of a trait from your Benny
Oromos,
Ginger, isn't it? Or Goromo.
Kuromo line. Yeah, it's not got Matsuba on like a Kajaku. It's got a weird, the sumi inside the Benny, like on the head and stuff, is quite weird. On the nostrils and round the face.
Is that from last year's Grown Show with a difference?
No, it's from.
That's Vince asking that.
No, it's not Mr. Vince.
No,
What we were calico like Kajakus, so it's like one
is
of the
it metallic?
It's
got a metallic luster to it, hasn't it?
Not enough to be metallic. No, you wouldn't when you look. It's no, there is metallic in it, but yeah, it was a right ugly duck. But I think it's going to make a nice fish, mate.
Shikaku.
It's definitely one to watch. I'll grow it for a year. I don't see that just hasn't got it just doesn't fit a category, does it?
So what was its parents?
It's got to be.
It's from a Kajaku spawning.
What, Kajaku the Kajaku?
Yeah.
Is it really?
It's like a non-metallic one of the like calico. It's got weird. It is an odd.
Bill says, how about doing a squash tomato in an Akabeko? I've got them. Ugly ass thing it is. It's a go something. Dark Osco says go something.
But yeah, it's actually quite this is a really nice colour, but it's weird. It is weird. Anyway.
Andrew Murrell says, I thought week after next was Ugly Fish Week.
Week after next.
Week after next. Oh, God damn. Week after next, it'll be the end.
To be your favourite fish from your favourite breed, it could be your ugliest fish.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I mean, that could fall for every category. Favourite fish from your favourite breed. That means anybody can send in out they want. Tamasabu, butterfly car, you name it.
Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, it's a bit of something different, isn't it? But it's not an ugly fish, is it?
I think it was particularly ugly.
And it's blossomed somewhat. That's what it's become. Right then, come on, Matt. What's your topic for the evening then? You've had long enough to think about it now.
No, next week.
Next week. God damn it. Right then, ladies and gents. Has anybody else got anything they would like us to have a natter and a chat about? If not, we're having an early finish. Because Rick is exhausted and wants to get his head down. It's been a busy week. Oh, actually, what's happening at the actual event then? What have you got planned? Are you allowed to spill your guts yet? Or are you keeping it cards to your chest?
No, I'm just trying to get as many fish for people to look at as I possibly can. So
sell as many as you possibly can.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
people that are invited aren't really. It's not a sales week. We do hope to sell some fish, but it's not a sales weekend. It's a showcase, I'd like to call it.
And you've only got 3 tickets remaining.
Is there? I don't know.
Only 3 tickets left.
Only 3 tickets. Which colour? Gold or silver?
There's only, yeah, no, because
Gold
Saturday's
sold out.
invitation day only, isn't it? So Sunday's the only you can buy tickets for. Got to make a car park, yeah. That's
Tony Farmocoy says, beautiful fish from ugliest breeder.
Cheers,
Budget
Tony.
Pond Keeper says, loads of fish from Crafty then.
That's not true. You ain't got a pretty fish.
Rick, what time does it start?
Yeah.
You need to have a
you're
word
down
with your people.
down
that
all
did
weekend
Friday
anyway,
night,
so
to be honest.
I didn't think this one through. We aim everyone get there for 10, 10:30 we'll start allowing people to
A bit of,
nosy.
yeah,
Maybe.
bit of a nosy around.
Yeah. It's just trying to get it's just so many fish to get all. I wanted to get 500, then it's turned to 1,000. I reckon it's going to be more than that. It's 140 sounds I harvested today, though, all fresh for the event.
And what's your price points at that type of size fish, Rick? Throw you on spot again.
I think there'd be fish from 30 quid. Well, no, I'm trying to get some toes I sorted out as well. So there'll be none in the shop, but I might have some tanks of little ones for people to pick through out the back. NND Sheros, Mark Oxo, Heat Sturries, Gazwad. I might get rid of my Gazwads as well.
Gazwads.
My Welsh Dragons might go as well. And some Goshki, Mark Gardner Goshki. But yeah, there's a lot to sort out.
Mr. Tate says, I'll be there to look at that new variety, Rick. Have a new name for it. There we go.
Perfect. There you go. You can name it yourself.
What about this one? Cashy says there, those fish that came out of the Phoenix look superb. Do you think there's potential for English bread to be more competitive in the show scene?
Well, I think they're doing, yeah, I think
they're doing all right already, and have been for quite some time, haven't they? There's been a lot of fish that have done well.
Cashy won some prizes with his homebred fish at the junior show. So that's got to be a positive, isn't it? I think.
That's really good, isn't it? If you've bred your own fish and got results at a junior koi show with it, that's nice one, mate. Good on you.
Yeah,
that's an achievement again in itself. On top of the award of getting it there.
I think a lot of the problem is obviously having this. There's so few shows and so few show bats. Someone worked out the other day. There's only 200 show bats a year or whatever it is available. That means you've got to get your fish to those customers that are going to the shows. To be in that's probably harder than we might have 100 fish on the farm available for this weekend that could all win prizes at shows. But actually, you've got to have people that show fish, and there's limited show bats available. We'll never. I say we're not. We ain't producing fish to win the bigger sizes. That's just it gets crazy hard. But certainly small sizes, yeah, it's all possible, isn't it? But yeah, bigger go Sankia, something special. And if you see the numbers, some of the videos I've done, I've not uploaded them, but yeah. So like the go Sankia we've done this year, ponds, so from 4,000 fish, I'm down to 4 fish that I think have got good potential. You know, when you get those sort of numbers, you're just wasting your time, isn't you? Well, not wasting your time. It's yeah, it's hard. That's just a nightmare. I mean, the Welsh Dragons have turned out phenomenally well. I'm seeing people sending me pictures, and out of 150 fry, they've got 5 good Kahaku and Sankey that you'd be paying decent money for out in Japan. And you're like, well, for those, that's amazing. For that small amount of number, they've done really well. And yeah, 30 centimetre fish at 5 months old or whatever is ridiculous. But that's another story. But yeah, certainly some varieties.
He's very modest about what he produces, isn't he? He downplays it, man, way too much. He should be get behind it, man. Pull it up and be. I mean, it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not. Of course, it's not.
Still something to be. I mean, Vince says this.
I get well excited when we pull good fish out, and yeah, I think Dan was quite surprised. Obviously, he's out in Japan 3 weeks a year. looking at fish, and I think he was quite some of the fish we were pulling out of Phoenix. He's like, "Well, Christ, that'll go to a show." He took a load of fish home. So if he's taking fish home, then that suggests something, doesn't it? So, but yeah, that's not our market, really, is it? Though, business wise, that's such a tiny bit. You know, and also we've been out to Japan. You go to those breeders, and the numbers of good fish you see, certainly in the Go Sankey stuff, just mind blowing, isn't it? You think, Christ, I can produce 5. They've got 5,000 in one pond, and you're like, oh.
How many did he take home, Rick?
What, Dan?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that his wife asking?
No. Susan just asked, how many did he take home, Rick? Question.
I don't know if that's disclosable information.
Yeah, maybe not. Perhaps.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll send you a video. Hang on. And you can.
Andrew said Rick pulled out a little shuru yesterday that will compete against anything.
But but the thing is, it might compete in size 1, but that's never going to grow and compete anywhere beyond size 1 or 2. Yeah, let me just work out.
Put it up, Rick.
I think Vince keeps hassling me to do a page on the website of all the fish that won stuff it shows, which we should do.
I think
really.
you definitely should. I definitely think you should. You should add them too as Salt By, award-winning. Why not?
That last comment, Gaz, about the show, getting more people to show, is that the issue? Getting more people to show, or is it the shows can't cater for the...
Cheers, Jen. I hope that seeing the quality Rick is putting out there and the success of Vince and others encourages more people to show. I think Go Sankey will be very difficult against Japanese currently, which I agree with that.
I agree with.
The first bit with more people to show, I don't think there is a lack of people that want to show. I think that there's the capability for more people to show. You know, look how quickly
they sell out pretty damn fast, to be fair, don't they? Yeah. Most shows are, but it's very rare that you go and see an empty vat. And even if it is an empty vat, it's normally a last minute thing where something's pulled out. Yeah, they pulled out because of X, Y, and Z, or you know, maybe something personal or whatever. Yeah. I saw some real nice koi and twisters videos getting pulled at Rick's. I was very pleasantly surprised. It's a buzz doing that, being there, seeing them coming out like that. It's mint. When you did the Munga Tunnel, man, there was some lovely stuff come out of there. Back.
But that's sort of the cream of the crop, isn't it? There isn't masses of them, and every year it's different varieties. We can't do everything. So there's a video coming, Gaz. This might or might not be the fish that Dan took home. It just could be a random bowl of fish. Because I don't know.
It says sending. It's coming. Yes, that's true. The more support, the more the shows will continue to grow, which can only be good for the hobby. They are great to be a part of.
Yeah, I think the shows, obviously the BKKS folding,
yes, mate.
And hopefully that money will go to the national and carry that on. That's what I voted for. That's what I think should happen, as long as it's handled correctly. But you've also then got a bit of free rein. You've got other people that might want to. The image quality is not great, but
problem is, it's like 2 years ago, I didn't have anybody that was showing our fish that they'd purchased. This year, I've got 5 people that all want to go to the show. Now, you know that they ain't all going to get a VAT. You know, that's probably...
Well, you've just got to be quick, haven't they?
Yeah, but that's what I mean about that. It's not the support from the hobbyists.
That one. Hang about. Sorry. Look at that. Scalish on that. Look at that. Some fancy ones in there, mate. Fancy ones, as Marco would say.
But they're all, whether they were purchased or not, but they were all from the Nutrimare pond. So they've all been fed Nutrimare. So you can see that's what 10 weeks of Nutrimare has done to those fish. Take it as you will, I don't know. The video quality isn't great because of the way it's being sent. But I'm not a techno 4K sender. Whatever you do. Yeah, I think the more people that want to be involved, obviously, if the vats sell out quicker, then the shows can put in more vats if the money's coming in. Then the shows
can't they, Rick? Like,
well, some can't, but then you have more shows. If Lee's going to do a show in Wales, and if someone else is going to step up, you've got
Is that what it is, Vince? Ginrin Arago Kichagoi. Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's mad, that, isn't it? That looks smart. Karashi got
Yeah,
look nice as well, mate.
It's a nice little bowl of fish, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Shisui's nice and all. That's a nice, even balance pattern on it too. Did well, didn't they? And the Saroj is good on the Shuruat series.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was still watching them. They were still playing on me.
You got them on a bigger screen.
Yeah, that's the difference. Because I can see them on a 27-inch monitor. You get to appreciate them a little more.
Yeah, I think you might find that in the 5 years that you'll have an open show where everyone can, dealers, hobbyists, UK farms, you can have, you might have to split the prizes or split the way it's done. But if all those people can display fish, that's got to be good for the amount of fish displayed, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, it would, for me personally, I think it would be nice to see a few more shows just popping up and becoming a little bit bigger. And, just a couple more extras to go to, because it seems, although it doesn't seem like 2 minutes since we turned around and said, that's it, guys, spring is here. It's all about to kick off. Everything's about to start. We're going off into it all and we're thinking, yes, brilliant, koi season's here. And man, as quick as it started, it feels like it's wrapping up and coming to an end. It's a matter of months off of Christmas. And where's this year gone? It's just scary. The older you get, the faster it seems to go.
But you've also got that problem for like us, and it must be the same for Cuttlebrook and Adam and whatever, that the shows are at a time of year where you haven't got the time. You're too busy on the farm to be attending the show.
Yeah, for you, mate, it's the height of your busiest period, isn't it?
So like this event we're doing this week, it's kind of a showcase to show some. I've got fish that I'd love to take to shows, but again, do you only sell them to customers that might show them, or do you not sell them, or what? I'd like people to see some of the fish that we do, but actually, it's not that easy, is it? But if there was a show where you could have a vat and take your fish or whatever, who knows?
Gaz, do you know how hard it is to organise? I don't believe it's hard to organise at all. But putting it together and setting it all up would be immense, mate. What you all do and what you do and what you go through and what you got to do to get it all organised and running, hats off to you, mate. But I'm just, speaking in the sense of I would love more shows to be there for the public to go to. And I know that a lot of public would probably enjoy going to them. It's one of those things where it's come and gone so quick. That's a lot of meaning.
Is there not capability that a show could be a business, as in a company or a group of individuals do 10 shows across the country, making a business out of it, so they're employed by the company 12 months of the year?
I think you run into massive conflict then as well, though, didn't you?
Yeah, it'd be more and more.
I don't know how that goes down. But yeah, there's possibilities for all sorts. There's different. So yeah, you get different. ZNA used to do a show up here. You can get different people. You can do whatever, can't you? But yeah.
Is that how long it takes you to organise a show? 10 months. That needs some fucking help if it does.
Well, no, but imagine it's getting.
I mean, seriously,
a close show.
I wasn't taking the piss. If it's something that takes 10 months to put together a show, then
you've got to get a venue, haven't you? So you've got to get a venue. You've got to be able to hire a venue.
Yeah.
Sort out marquees, all your vats, if it's a closed show like theirs, everyone in obviously sort out who's attending with what. It must be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's not just setting up. But I'm trying to set up my own fish in my own vats, and it's a nightmare.
Oh yeah, getting ready to go to a show as a dealer is a long ass process and a lot to do. There's no me saying it's not. I'm not saying by any means, but if you think about it, going back years ago, there was a lot more shows than what there are now. Maybe that's the reason why there isn't as many, because it is so much of a slog to get through to do it all. But it would be nice to be able to see more and have more to be able to go to and pay, to go in and watch.
But I think it's more important that we support the shows that there are, and if we get them busier and busier and busier to the point where that's when you can have more shows, isn't it? When it's that popular.
Yeah, when they're too full for everybody to be. Yeah.
Imagine the national, you have to ticket the event. It's going to be, you can't just say it's free for everyone to turn up.
But again, at the same time, Rick, you've always got that other thing and all, haven't you, where people would like to attend those shows and partake in it, but can't do it because of the so many days rules and such. There's all that aspect to come into it as well, isn't there? Where fish can't be showed at one because they've just been at another one month before or whatever.
Yeah, but that again, those rules have got to be constantly reviewed and worked on, which is what the BKKS have done. And obviously, I don't know where that then now stands. Who's gonna? It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're standalone shows, aren't they? What's it got to do with A to B or whatever? You've still got guidelines to follow, but yeah, don't know. It's a shame. I mean, you automatically so like Lee has been a massive supporter of the show, showing his fish, doing whatever. Suddenly, he's now going to sell some fish. That's him out the show scene. Done. He's become dealer, isn't he? So that's one of the main drivers, attendance, whatever you want to call it. Suddenly, not going to be doing.
But I think a lot of people like Lee he's come into the hobby. He started being as a basic keeper, then to a YouTuber, then to a shower, and now he's climbing a ladder, isn't he, so to speak?
Yeah,
he's going.
What I'm saying is, he's now got to a point where he can't attend. He can't show at the shows.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah.
So when you attend the shows, it's one of those. So is it not a time where you can actually look at some of the rules and think, well, actually, yes, we can have dealers show fish, but it's separate, like they do at the national.
Yeah,
it's only a little part. Or do you increase that, or you have some people that want to see those fish, other people don't want to see those fish. They want to see hobbyist fish. What do you do? He could set up the Welsh show and it can be open to absolutely anyone. I don't think a lot of dealers, they have more choice of fish, but they shouldn't have better fish than the hobbyists, because the hobbyists are looking after those fish in a way that the dealers can't.
Colin put in a valid point there. More shows just means people will only go to their local one, so footfall will drop.
It's possible, unless it's a thing you don't know.
I don't know. For me, that wouldn't be the case. It'd just be more to good.
But yeah,
but I guess I can see where he's coming from, because it could go the opposite swing and make people think, you know what? Let's just go to one that's round corner this year. So I suppose you could look at it that same as well.
But you think down our way, there's no show for what'll be the closest 3-hour drive?
But you've got the land, Matt. You've got the land.
I haven't got 10 months spare of the year to do a show.
And you've also got the water capacity too.
Straight out the ground. You can't beat that.
Till it runs out in the middle of a show. So that's one of the things that you're looking after.
You're in shit big time.
Yeah, but we never ran out this year with the rain shortage that we have. We're not going to run out. I can pump it.
You didn't barely use any, did you? Getting all those fish through quarantine. Yeah. I think the number of shows is in reality how many people can have. What's there, 8 shows? So that's 8 weekends through the summer. That's probably, if you wanted to attend the bulk of them, that's just support them, didn't you?
That's
You know,
right. What
support them
about
in
that?
this
Yeah. What about that one? Do it like Crufts. You need to win at a local show to get into the national. That sort of thing.
That's how it used to be, but there wasn't enough people showing. There's not enough shows, so you can't.
Yeah,
It's like the
well,
judges had to attend X amount of judge shows to become a judge. But
So
they're just
if you went to my area then, or other area where it's close enough, if we had a show down here that would get 15, 20 of your customers, 15, 20 of my customers all taking their own fish to it, and they actually win something, they're going to be interested in going to the national. But you've got to have lots and lots of these little ones to generate that. And we haven't got it.
yeah. Well, but that's how it used to be. You couldn't just get a VAT at the national. You'd have to go through your sections and have fish that qualified that way around. But that just doesn't. It just wasn't enough fish to do that. But suddenly now they're selling out of VAT. What they sold out the VATs at the national in a matter of hours this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they've gone in the morning.
And then you get the flip side of it. You get potentially people that have got amazing koi that don't get a VAT that could have been there, but you're going to have that regardless, aren't you? There's a lot of good koi in the country that never go to shows for different reasons, and I don't blame people for that. That's
Well,
a bit risky making them.
We have to look at some of the fish that are shown even on here tonight. You know, they would have did bloody well at the national.
Yeah, some nice fish. To be fair, there's been some nice fish. I mean, there's been a hell of a lot of very nice fish that have been posted week in, week out, year after year. There's a lot of people out there with fish that are definitely good enough to go to a show.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're going to be winners, but they're definitely good enough to be competing there, and they definitely would be coming away with some kind of rosette of some description.
Well, to be fair, Matt's customer showed the fish on it, and we went, shit, that's good enough to go to a show. So they went to the show and won with it.
See,
there you
Mr.
go.
Dick could learn a thing or two, couldn't he? Well, ladies and gents, we're gonna have an earlier one. As it's what the fuck's my watch? Get you doing that for? 9:45, and we normally say to a 10 o'clock ish, but on this occasion, and good morning, Ryan out there in Japan.
Ryan's just waking up.
Good news for Ryan is he's got, 17 hours to go.
17 hours to go, yeah. Long day, mate. Probably a little bit. I mean, I guess that's probably going to be a little bit longer day because it's pretty early there now, isn't it? Isn't it? I don't know. What time is it there now?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock in the morning, yeah. Shit, goddamn.
He's still got jet lag. He's waking up at 5 in the morning because it don't get light out there for ages yet.
Either that or someone's shit bed.
He's just on his way back from the karaoke, isn't he?
He's just getting in. That's it. He's just getting in. He's just walked through the door. But yeah, we'll wrap it up this one for next week. Then we're going to do your favourite koi from your favourite breeder, and then we shall make it one or two more after that, and then that's going to be the end of the koi appreciation for this season. So, usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favour: like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and until next week, guys, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, all.
Nice, easy. Night.
This has been one hell of an experience. Have a look at that. New change in the garden. Made a little seated area. Into the little bush so you can sit inside the other pond.